watch us in the studio with a choir.
It's repurposing content continuously, which Wes is something he's always kind of taught me and teach me. Like, the more we can repurpose content, it's like it's good for us, and that will literally create so much because people want the narrative, they want to buy the story.
You could offer it. So that's the one thing that another part of what I was saying about. I feel like the brand needs to move forward to more of like a media hub type of mentality. Because with every pack, I want the pack to tell a story moving forward. I really want our brand to tell more of the story that we know about while we're creating or while we're talking to separate vendors, outside vendors to create for us. So pretty much like, perfect example, like with Smite's pack, like with the next composition pack, I really want to get him on camera multiple times to talk about what he's doing.
They put a face to him.
Yeah, and even like when it's done, like to be able to get in front of like our producers group and be able to to interact with those guys and tell them what he was thinking about, have them ask questions about certain things that they need or whatever. So that's definitely something that I'm more leaning towards for this year, and kind of almost even points more to the fact of like why the office space is important, because to be able to be centrally located to do that stuff, nobody's coming up the Bluebell to the crib to do video.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Come to Wilmington,
Exactly. So if the hub is centrally located, at least to just talk things out, it's just a whole lot easier to talk those things out and to even throw those things up against the wall to say like, this is what we're thinking about doing. But I definitely think that the storytelling aspect is extremely important. And I just think that we've done such a good job with building the brand's reputation, but I don't know if we've done as good of a job as actually telling the story.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
So right. I agree.
Because I was talking to Dan yesterday, and Dan was like, he was saying like one of the best things about what he felt like one of the best things about the brand was how it's so reflective of us personally. So when you hear the sounds, you hear y'all two. It's very much 42 North sounds, but visually, it's when you see it, it's like, that's Wes. You see what I'm saying? So it's such a harmony, but if people from the outside don't know that, then what's the brand really saying? You see what I'm saying? So I just think that we got to do a better job of every time that we're working on something to make sure that we're presenting that idea and the thought process behind that, so that somebody randomly that stumbles upon Soul Surplus for the first time, if they see a couple, 3 to 4 or 5 pieces of content, they're actually able to read, oh, okay, I'm starting to understand what the brand is about and what their motto and their mantra, so, because I think we've already done a good job of expressing the fact that we're really about servicing other people. Yeah. Like you especially did a really good job of sharing that on the podcast. So,
people loved that too. They were like resonating with that joint. Like when you made that video, repurposing content, Cass was like inboxing me, telling, yo, this is it. Like, this is what it's about. Like, it was like epiphany for you. I'm like, yo, I really want to preach to people more about this. You know what I mean? Because an industry exists because people want to be encouraged. Gary Vee and them. But the problem is they don't go do anything about it, so they keep returning. And the great thing about him is like he doesn't. That's what makes him so great, is because he doesn't need it.
Right.
And for us, like, we low-key don't need it either. So it's good. It's like we make our money from doing packs. We don't make our money from trying to preach to y'all.
Right.
But if you're coming back, give you something of worth. Give you something.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I'm already like really appreciative of the fact that people have bought into our brand. Cause that's such a hard thing to do. And
it is, bro.
We definitely got to give. Like there, at some point, I have to give Dan something of monetary value for giving us that alley-oop.
He believed in us too.
Yeah, man. If not for that, I mean, you figure like most people they would create a startup, to go from product to placement in the store takes like 2 years.
Yeah, I mean,
we created it and it was in the store in a month.
You cut the middleman out.
Exactly.
Like, yo, you have to use them.
Right.
You know, we didn't have to prove ourselves.
Exactly. And so, from a product standpoint, we stood above the rest. In that, I felt like that we did an excellent job of just creating something that was needed. One of the best feedbacks that we actually got recently was I've noticed that there's been about 3 to 5 people that were like kind of missed like the first feels from the first 2 Port Rich packs. Mm-hmm. And I kind of felt like we might have gotten a little away from that.
Yeah, they did mention it. I was thinking like, you know, that's probably a thing. I'm glad we did variety though, because the numbers show. You're right. We still gotta go back to, you know, who we are. Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's good. I'm looking forward to, you know, everything that we're going to be doing moving forward this year.
I'm hyped about that story joint. Just the idea of like capturing, like doing big passion projects like that, like a gospel joint. I mean, I even just thought of a jazz joint. Like my girlfriend's father is a legendary jazz bassist,
right?
And her brother is a jazz prodigy,
right?
Just getting that on video is like, and hearing the story of that is crazy. And then even selling those sounds to people, like, no, this is real jazz. You can chop up,
right? So you guys had a good idea about like how we would do like a gospel pack, because we've been leery about doing a gospel pack. So what you guys were saying that you probably think it's probably best to hit like a Philly sound, like do like, so we always create stuff in our own hub, in our own bubble. But for something like this, we would probably go to a real studio with multiple mics and
do it right.
Grab the feel like as authentically as possible.
Yeah, that again, that's a huge thing. Another thing of our brand, I think people buy into authenticity.
Right.
They buy into us because they know it's really us.
Right.
It's really Wes. He's gonna talk to you on Facebook. He's gonna DM you. You know, it's us. Like we're really musicians. We really play. So the authenticity is like, we wouldn't want to cut corners in gospel.
Right.
Like, yeah, cats get in studios and make gospel, but what is the power of gospel? Cats coming together, really being in a room together.
Very true.
The first thing that comes to my mind, if I like see a gospel pack, I'm like, this is probably gonna be bad or it's corny.
Right.
So like you gotta go all out for something like that.
Right.
Like Philly sounds are literally like we've been there like a chapel.
Right.
So that drink would be perfect.
And even like, and I think that's the problem is, so when you go to church, it's an open venue. It's not a booth.
Yeah.
The sound isn't trapped in the booth. So you go to church, that thing is hitting the ceiling and then dissipating out to, you know, the congregation. So that's why it just has a different sound.
It does, man.
Even down to the singers.
And I low-key just want to hear Wes and Joel on Leslie real quick. Just saying, man.
We definitely gotta do that building again.
Yeah. Get down with that joint. The upper room.
I don't know, man.
No edits, everything.
But bro, it was like, yeah, we can get in there. I don't know if I should say offline, but like, yo, through Mike Gag, we had gotten there for Andy for like 600 for like 4 days. For the whole 4 days, not 600 a day. No, not 600 a day.
Are you serious?
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I'll double check with Wes. I know that through Mike, it was very cheap for Andy. So I'm just like,
that's how we got it.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, I mean, so it's just like, we could get it there for probably cheap, and we would. That don't be killer, man.
Yeah. Well, I'm just, you know, the storytelling aspect is just going to be so much more important, and I think it's just going to be the one thing. I think that's the best part about our team is like I feel like that we're all able to reside in our strengths, and you know, Joel is really like the main visionary for where we're going sonically.
Yeah.
And then John is like the hybrid between both the sonic side and the administrative side, and is making both Joel and I be practical about how we're approaching that. Because I even think like Joel is pretty carefree on the creative side, and then I'm kind of carefree on the how are we spending our money side.
And
then John is and then John is like right in the middle, like y'all need to calm down. You going too far off the reservation.
My personality type is mediator based.
Exactly.
They call me the mediator, so it's just in me, man. You know.
Yeah, but I'm just looking forward to ramping that up as far as like the storytelling and even just like even being able to bring, you know, good guys that we know along. So we literally were just sitting here, and Pat Jr. just sent us, him and his partner, you know, they sent us their new sounds. We're really excited about stuff. Very, 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 very dope. I'm really excited to get that out there. And so, you know, I'm looking forward to doing that a lot more, letting other creatives, you know, utilize our platform to get their voice heard and their sounds heard. And I think that'll just allow us to be able to create even more in other ventures with, you know, brand new produced series and, you know, like real stuff that kind of really just allows the fan base and our followers, especially like the guys in the producer group, to be able to follow along and hopefully learn, because we're trying to put some money in their pockets too, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I literally meant what I said in our Soul Surplus networking group. So, I mean, one of my goals this year is to, you know, reach 2 times the guys we've reached in Soul Surplus through our brand, but also to help get you all some placements, man. And I mean, we did that. Right. At the end of the year, it was so crazy. So like now I'm like, man, like, yeah, let's keep doing this. Like, it's really, networking is about seeing how we can help people, and that's what we really want to do. So yeah. And the best part about this is, you know, we are at the end of the day, we really want to serve people, and like we were just talking about, to be able to outsource work to our friends and to be able to get to the beginning of the month when payouts go out, and to be able to like basically pay dudes' mortgages off of the work that they were doing. It's like a big deal. It's a really big deal, man. And the more we can continue to do that, I just think not only does it help us as, you know, as the creative partners of the brand, but also really just allows us to really have like those arms and those legs and those hands and those feet of people that we work with that help support the brand overall. And I just think it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be good moving forward, man. So yeah, 2018 is looking like it's going to be rather nice, fellas. Let's do it. I'm excited.